Hello everyone, I'm going to look at the new Awakened hero. We have Awakened Eironn. So Awakened Eironn, just like the regular Eironn, is going to be a Wilder faction hero. I'm also going to be an agility based hero. The class is a ranger and the primary role is continuous damage. So let's start by looking at the ultimate skill. It is called Glacial Bellow. So the passive ability to this one is when an active skill other than a normal attack hits an enemy, it will apply a stack of Cold Snap mark. When a second stack is applied, it inflicts the Crystal Cluster status on the enemy and stuns them for 2 seconds. Crystal Cluster lasts for 10 seconds, during which the enemy is immune to further stacks of Cold Snap. But if the enemy receives non-Dragon Speak damage or health loss from Eironn during this period, the crystals explode, dealing extra damage equal to 350% of Eironn's attack rating, and this damage ignores defense rating. Neither Cold Snap marks nor the Crystal Cluster status can be dispelled. And the active ability to this is Eironn summons a Crystal Tornado that lasts for 6 seconds and moves toward the area with the most enemies. While the tornado is active, it pulls together enemies within range, applying 1 stack of Cold Snap every second and dealing damage equal to 500% of Eironn's attack rating every 2 seconds. While this skill is active, Eironn is immune to control effects, and only 1 Crystal Tornado can exist at the same time. So the level 2 ability to this one is enemies in the Crystal Cluster status cannot receive healing, and when the crystals explode, the durations of most of their buffs are reduced by 50%. This effect lasts for 8 seconds. It does not stack and cannot be dispelled, and the level 3 is normal attacks can also apply Cold Snap. So this sounds very similar to the regular Eironn's ultimate skill with those tornado. Looks like it's going to deal quite a bit of damage here as well, 500% of Eironn's attack rating. I really like the level 3 here on this one though, with the normal attacks can also apply Cold Snap because of this stun ability, stunning for 2 seconds when a second stack is applied. So let's look at the second skill. This one is called Icy Strike. It unleashes energy from his blade, inflicting health loss equal to 25% of the remaining health of each enemy hit. This health loss cannot exceed 1050% of Eironn's initial attack rating, but cannot be less than 250% of his initial attack rating. So the level 2 ability for this one is for every 5 Crystal Cluster explosions Eironn causes for the next 8 seconds, his attack rating is increased by 25% and he is immune to control effects. This effect cannot be stacked. For the level 3, for every 3 Crystal Cluster explosions Eironn causes for the next 8 seconds, his attack rating is increased by 40% and he is immune to control effects. This effect cannot be stacked. With the level 4 ability, upon entering the battlefield, Eironn will unleash 2 tornadoes to the front. The tornadoes will then converge on enemies within range and inflict health loss equal to 25% of their remaining health and an additional 250% of Eironn's attack rating. This skill also applies a stack of Cold Snap and reduces their haste by 60 points for 8 seconds. The level 5 ability is for every enemy this skill inflicts health loss on, Eironn recovers 50 extra energy. And finally, the level 6 ability to this one is the Blade's energy penetrates all enemies it passes through, inflicting health loss on each. So inflicting health loss, a quarter of their remaining health on each enemy hit. That is quite a bit of health. Also increasing his attack rating for the certain number of Crystal Cluster explosions. Then this one sounds very powerful, this level 4, unleashing 2 tornadoes to the front. So doing even more damage with those tornadoes. So looking at the third skill we have, it's called Violent Force. Deals damage equal to 400% of Eironn's attack rating to enemies within a certain range in front. If this damage causes an enemy's Crystal Cluster to explode, then that enemy will deal 90% less damage to Eironn for the next 8 seconds. And the level 2 ability to this one is if this skill causes at least 2 enemies to enter the Crystal Cluster state or causes at least 2 enemies' Crystal Clusters to explode, then the next cast of the ultimate will not consume any energy. And the level 3 ability to this one is enemies whose Crystal Clusters explode due to this skill will lose 50% of their current energy, and their buffer and damage resist will each be permanently reduced by 10 points. up to a maximum reduction of 30 points. This effect cannot be dispelled. So if the enemy's crystal cluster explodes, they will deal 90% less damage to Eironn. That is a lot of damage reduction to Eironn. Also doing quite a bit of damage here as well. Also allowing the Eironn's ultimate to not consume any energy with this level 2 ability. So overall, this skill sounds pretty powerful. Looking at the final skill we have is called Stunning Counterstrike. This is a passive ability. When receiving damage or health loss from an enemy within a certain range in front, it rapidly blocks the attack and deals Dragon Speak damage equal to 350% of Eironn's attack rating to enemies within a certain range in front. This effect can only be triggered once every 3 seconds. And with the level 2 ability, when receiving damage or health loss from a distant enemy to the front, it rapidly blocks the attack. This effect can only be triggered once every 3 seconds. Every time a block is triggered, a stack of Cold Snap is applied to the attacker. And the level 3 ability is Dragon Speak damage dealt due to this skill is increased by 75% when blocking a nearby enemy, knocking them back and stunning them briefly. So doing even more damage with this skill. Also doing just a little bit of crowd control with the level 3 ability. I like that with this skill, Eironn can just block attacks. That's kind of powerful, being able to block certain attacks. So we have those 4 skills read through. Let's go ahead and look at the Awakening skill for Awakened Eironn. This one is called Draconic Swordsmanship. When an active skill or other than a normal attack hits an enemy, or when a crystal cluster explodes, it deals an extra strike of Dragon Speak damage equal to 500% of Eironn's attack rating. This damage does not apply an extra Cold Snap mark. Every time a crystal cluster explodes, the enemy's attack rating is permanently reduced by 10% for a maximum reduction of 40%. This effect cannot be dispelled. So there's a lot of different instances where this Dragon Speak damage will be applied. And also reducing the enemy's attack rating to a maximum of 40%. So it sounds like if Awakened Eironn has this Awakening skill activated on the team, it sounds like he could do quite a bit of damage with it. And also, we always love that attack rating debuff in there as well. So I believe with that, we have covered actually everything. I don't think we need to actually look at the signature item or the furniture or the engraving, because we've already looked at that through the skills. So my thoughts on Awakened Eironn, it sounds like he can do a lot of damage in here. But honestly, I don't know why we have Awakened Eironn in the first place. I thought the regular Eironn was just fine. I thought they were only going to do Awakened heroes with heroes that are not really used anymore or not very powerful, but apparently we now have Awakened Eironn. And yeah, like I said, I just don't know why exactly we have him, but it sounds like he's going to do pretty well with all the damage that he can do. So if you like this video, then make sure to click the like button. Also subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video from me. And also comment, what do you think about Awakened Eironn? And thanks for watching.